when I saw Avid, I just fell in love. I mean, it was really what I was looking for, and I think what you need to really do what you have to do in today's editing environment.
You're just sitting there with the mouse. You don't have to learn how to type on a keyboard. You don't have to pay any attention to time code numbers. Just like editing film, your choices can be based purely on reacting to the picture and track.
It allows you to do everything that you're familiar with doing in editing effortlessly and painlessly. There's no limitations to what you could do.
The Avid1 Media Composer is a fully digital random access nonlinear editing system based on the Macintosh 2X personal computer. Source tapes are transferred in real time to removable magnetic or optical storage devices to provide instant access to all material. The editing process starts by dragging source material from a bin to the Edit and Assemble window. In the source monitor, every frame is instantly accessible using the position bar. Clicking on the play button provides full frame rate NTSC or PAL playback.
Noticed you had a visitor.
Visitor?
Don't get yourself worked up, Charlie. I know who Matthew Grady is.
The Avid1 lets an editor splice in or overwrite material anywhere in the program. For example, let's put in a cutaway to Ethan's horse as he looks out the window. We can go to a bin and drag a horse cutaway over to the source monitor. Scrolling through the clip lets us check the in and out marks. Clicking on the Splice In button performs the edit instantly. Let's use the timeline to position ourselves just before the cutaway. In head frame mode, we can actually see the cutaway, and you can also rearrange shots. Back in the Edit and Assemble window, we can play through the cutaway.
The timeline has turned into be a very, very valuable part of it. It's very easy to see if you have a black hole or if you left a piece of audio out somewhere. I mean, it's right in front of you. You don't have to search and listen to the whole tape to see that you left out some room tone somewhere. It's immediately obvious that it's gone.
And the idea of the timeline, graphically laying it out just like a synchronizer, makes it very convenient and very familiar to me.
Once an edit has been made, it's easy to adjust it by adding or removing frames using the transition editor.
By hitting a key, will move you back, step you through the transitions or edit points. And then you have full control to adjust the points. Either move them in sync together or move one and add a little more video to the tail of one or a little more audio to the head of the other, or to split off the audio and video. And it's all right there in front of you in real time as you do it.
It's just like editing on film, but not having a trim bin, just having your trims always attached to the piece that you're working with, but invisible.
The flexibility Avid provides with editing pictures applies equally to audio level and pan settings. Every component in the sequence has its own settings, which can be adjusted at any time. On the Avid, you're not limited to cuts. The Avid allows you to see any cut as a dissolve. A dialog box prompts the editor for effect duration and starting point relative to the existing cut.
And they really look like real dissolves, and that will make a lot of decisions here in the editing room where they should be made, as opposed to in the online bay when you're spending a lot of really expensive minutes deciding what effect to put where.
The Avid1 provides a variety of output options.
I auto-assembled to 3/4 inch for the sound editors, for the music people. They want a copy of the show, and of course the time code matches.
It'll put out a list in standard CMX or Grass Valley or SMPTE format or Ampex, or there's a whole list of them. And the nice thing about Avid is it's always a clean list, and you never have to go back and do any list management work or clean the list.
Avid's removable media make it easy to switch jobs quickly. 8mm cassettes for economic archival storage. Optical media for long-form projects. And removable magnetics for highest performance and convenience. Its patented compression software transfers video and audio in real time, making it easy to incorporate late-arriving footage.
The advantage I found with the Avid was that I can go ahead and make my selections as I digitize footage into the system, and then If I go through my editing and find that a particular take that I digitized isn't working for one reason or another, it's really simple just to go back to my 3/4 inch dailies, find a take that will work, and add it into the system.
That's one of the other things that sort of attracted me to the system initially, was the fact that you didn't have to worry about late arriving material, because the reality is everything gets here late. You know, people never get all their material there on time.
I've been a film editor for a long time, and was pretty resistant to video because of the problems doing the things I was used to doing in film. Swapping shots, adding trims, moving scenes, all of those basic things that you learn to do in film, I was never able to do in video. So for me as an editor, this system is a dream.
I mean, I would venture a guess that a good 65% of your, 70% of your time in standard editing is spent loading tapes, searching forward or backwards down a reel. You have a scene on 2 different parts of the cassette, so it's 8 minutes down, you make the cut. You go back, you make the cut, so now you've already gone a 1/4 of an hour to make 2 simple cuts, which probably on the Avid you could do in about 10 seconds. So it's speed and time, and in this business time is very important.
Its big benefit to people from advertising agencies is that they won't spend any less time editing, but they can try many more variations on their footage. Once we had agreed on the cut for the first spot, send it to the sequence bin, bring it back into the source monitor, add it to the end of the first spot, go in and change the 1 or 2 scenes that we needed to, and it took just about as much time as it just took me to say it, to actually accomplish it.
I don't think there's an editor alive who won't admit, if you really put him to the wall, that at some point a program would go out where he'd like to have made a change but just didn't have the time to make the change. You don't have to compromise like that anymore, and that's really a major factor, is that you can really take the time, you'll have the time to take the time to do what you want to do.
The Avid's been a dream situation, only that it allows you to quickly execute all different types of possibilities, and no longer are you trying to think about why you don't want to try a change. It's now, why don't we try it?